Farage claims Starmer is obsessed, but who's really winning this political game? Let's be honest. British politics these days is like a reality TV show you never signed up for, but now can't stop watching. The latest episode? Nigel Farage accuses Keir Starmer of being obsessed with him. Yes, Farage, the man who can't pass up the chance to talk about himself on LBC, Good Morning Britain, or, let's face it, anywhere with a microphone. You could cut the irony with a butter knife and spread it thick on your morning toast. Welcome back to UK Plug, your one-stop shop for decoding the political circus, so you don't have to lose your mind trying. But before we get swept up in the Farage versus Starmer drama, let's rewind to where this latest political soap opera began. Trust me, this one is a proper mess, so buckle up. Picture this. Peter Kyle, the government's tech secretary, yes, the same folks who treat a WhatsApp group chat like it's quantum physics, decides to take on Reform UK. Kyle claimed that if Farage had his way and scrapped the Online Safety Act, he'd be on the same side as Jimmy Savile. That's not just a political jab. That's a nuclear-level grenade thrown directly into the Reform UK camp. Let's be clear. That's the kind of comment that makes you wonder if Number 10 strategy meetings are happening at pub closing time. The hypocrisy? Just 2 years ago, Labour was apoplectic when Boris Johnson made similar Savile-themed attacks on Starmer. How dare he? They cried. This is beyond the pale. They wailed. The moral outrage was so intense you could power the national grid with it. Now, with the roles reversed, Labour seemed fine slinging the same mud, just from a different trench. Naturally, Farage wasn't having any of it. He called the attack absolutely appalling and demanded an apology. And honestly, fair play to him. When your opponent's tactics make a Boris Johnson Twitter rant look measured, it might be time to reconsider your approach. But Farage didn't stop there. He dropped what he clearly thought was a masterstroke. I think they are losing the plot in every way, and the PM in particular have become completely obsessed with me. Now, calling Starmer obsessed is like calling a sloth hyperactive. It takes some real mental gymnastics to get there. Starmer, whose idea of wild excitement is probably rearranging his stamp collection, isn't exactly known for his flamboyant passions. Here's where things get interesting. Because if you look at Labour's recent moves, there might actually be some method to Farage's madness. Labour hasn't been treating the Tories as their main opposition. Their sights are set on Reform UK. In May's local elections, Reform bagged hundreds of council seats. Suddenly, Labour's political director is telling MPs, Reform voters are our people, and they are pissed off. Our people. Mate? If they were your people, they probably wouldn't be voting for the political equivalent of Brexit on steroids. Starmer's even told his chief of staff to target Reform as the real opposition, not the Tories, who still have 121 MPs, but Reform, who have 5 seats and a talent for grabbing headlines. What's more, Reform has been surging in the polls. In June, they hit a record 9-point lead over Labour. That's not a polling blip. That a political earthquake, complete with fluorescent jackets and endless talk about small boats. Even Jeremy Corbyn, who knows a thing or two about being sidelined, reckons Labour is now obsessed with appeasing Reform. When Corbyn thinks you're playing it too safe, you know you've really lost the plot. So who's really obsessed here? Labour insiders claim Farage just doesn't like scrutiny. That's like saying cats don't like water. Technically true, but missing the point. Farage has been in politics longer than most of us have had Netflix subscriptions. He's used to being poked with a stick. But here's the real story. Labour is scared. Yes, they've got a huge parliamentary majority, but their popularity is somewhere between a root canal and a Monday morning commute. Meanwhile, Farage is hoovering up disaffected voters like a Dyson on steroids. When you're in power and spend more time attacking a party with 5 MPs and actually governing, that's not strategy, it's panic. Imagine being Manchester United's manager and spending your press conferences talking about Luton Town because they beat you once. That's where we are. The truth? Both sides are obsessed with each other. It's a political soap opera where everyone's forgotten the plot, but keeps improvising anyway. So, whether you love Farage, loathe him, or think is the political equivalent of Marmite on a cheese sandwich, one thing's clear. He's living rent-free in Labour's head right now. And in British politics, that's half the battle won already. What do you think? Is Starmer really obsessed with Farage, or is this just politics as usual with extra drama? Drop your thought below. If you enjoyed watching Labour and Reform tear chunks out of each other like PMQs in a cage fight, subscribe for more UK political chaos, delivered with a side of sanity. Trust me, with this government and this opposition, there's plenty more drama where this came from. Until next time, this has been UK Plug, keeping you informed, entertained, and only slightly more confused than when we started.